Hello and welcome to Big Orbit's Cardfight Vanguard weekly update. My name is James and I have been away for the last few weeks, so instead of going through everything for 1 week or everything for all the weeks I've been gone, I would just go through the highlights that I've missed, some of the best cards or some of the more interesting cards. We have 4 VRs to go through, the first one being Eradicator Gauntlet Buster Dragon for Narukami. His first skill is Continuous Vanguard Circle during your turn. This unit gets plus 5000 power and plus 1 critical for each open rearguard circle on your opponent's front row. This is strong against Axel decks. Not only that, but he also has Act Vanguard Circle cost, counterpass 1, discard a card from your hand, and bind all your opponent's rearguards in the front row. You may move all the rearguards in their back row to the front row of the same column. This is incredibly strong against Axel, though pretty fair against Force and Protect, as the discard is a pretty big loss of defense for an Axel deck. Gauntlet Buster gets some direct support with the RR Grade 2 Supreme Army Eradicator Zuitan. His skill is Auto Rearguard Circle. When your opponent's rearguard is bound during your turn, this unit and all your eradicated Gauntlet Buster Dragons on Vanguard Circle and Rearguard Circle get plus 5000 power until the end of the turn. And he also has Auto Rearguard Circle at the end of the battle that it attacked Vanguard. If there are no rearguards in your opponent's front row, cost put this unit into your soul and draw a card. This draw is really useful for Gauntlet Buster as it refunds his discard cost as well. Narukami also get the RR Fiendish Sword Eradicator Cho-O. He's a grade 2 with Auto Vanguard Circle, Rearguard Circle. When placed, cost counterpass 1, choose a column, bind a rearguard of your opponent's front row of that column, and move up 1 rearguard from the back row to the rearguard circle in the front row. He also has Auto Rearguard Circle once per turn. At the end of the battle that your Vanguard attacked, if there are no rearguards in your opponent's front row, cost counterpass 1 and stand this unit. This is great on an Excel circle, and something we haven't really seen for Narukami in Standard before. A useful singular is the Grade 1 Desert Gunner Gaiban. His skill is Auto Rearguard Circle. At the end of the battle that your Vanguard attacks, choose one of your units, and until the end of the turn, it gets plus 3000 power, and your opponent cannot call Sentinels from his or her hand for the battles of the chosen unit's attack. Choosing Cho-O is a good option thanks to the restand ability, putting a lot of pressure on your opponent. Onto Gold Paladin, we have the VR, Blazing Lion Platina Ezel. His ability is Act Vanguard Circle cost, counterpass 1, and change this turn's first drive check into look at the top 2 cards of your deck, reveal 1 card from among them into the trigger zone, and call 1 from among them to Rearguard Circle. If your soul has 2 or more grade 3s, change the second drive of the turn and more as well. Great part of the game, but amazing late game, putting huge pressure on your opponent with so many extra attacks and semi-manipulating the triggers. Some grade 2 support is Advance of Black Chains Kaiden. He's a RR and has Auto Rearguard Circle when placed, cost counterpass 1, discard a card. Look at 3 cards from the top of your deck, call 1 from among them to Rearguard Circle and shuffle your deck. And if Stronghold of Black Chains Hole is on Vanguard Circle or Rearguard Circle, draw a card. This is a good replacement for Vivian as he doesn't use up much soul, but requires you to have Hole to make the most of him. Stronghold of Black Chains Hole is a grade 1 RR and has continuous rearguard, so your other unit in the same column as this unit that was placed this turn gets plus 5000 power. If Advanced of Black Chains Kaiden is on Vanguard Circle or Rearguard Circle, it gets plus 10,000 power and instead of plus 5,000 power. He is good, especially as one defensive trigger can really hurt Gold Paladin, as this helps make up power, but it will be a struggle to fit him in the deck. For Nubatama, we have the VR Shura Stealth Dragon Jamyo Kongo. His skill is Auto Vanguard Circle. When you're placed at the end of each turn, your opponent chooses 6 cards from his or her hand and discards the rest from hand. If your soul is a grade 3, he or she must choose 4 instead of 6. This is pretty devastating against Protect clans, as they tend to like to keep lots of cards in hand, but they also have a good chance of being able to easily hold a perfect card in hand for this situation. Stealth Beast Tamahagane is a RR grade 2 and has Auto Rearguard Circle when placed, cost Soul Blast 1, choose one of your opponent's rearguards and return it to their hand. If you returned, your opponent chooses a card from his or her hand and discards it. This works greatly for Kujikiri Kongo, finally getting a better way of reliably giving the guard restrict, and using a resource that most of the other support for Kujikiri Kongo doesn't use. Also has Continuous Rearguard Circle. If your opponent's hand has 4 or less cards, this unit gets plus 5000 power. Lastly for the clan, we have Stealth Rogue of Abstinence, Mizukaze. He's a giftless grade 3 with Auto Rearguard Circle when placed, costs Soul Blaster grade 3. Until the end of the turn, your opponent cannot call from his or her hand to Guardian Circle with the same grade that he or she called during this turn. This is incredibly impactful, and this with Kokushikurasu is incredibly devastating to your opponent. Onto the last VR for the set, which is Goddess of the Full Moon Tsukiyomi for Oracle Think Tank. Her skill is Act Vanguard Circle once per turn, costs counterblast 1 and discard a card from your hand. Choose up to 3 cards with Tsukiyomi in their card names from your soul and draw cards equal to the number of cards chosen. If you drew 3, look at 5 cards from the top of your deck, put up to 2 cards from among them on the top of your deck in any order, and put the rest to the bottom of your deck in any order. Drawing 3 and manipulating the deck to this extent is incredible. She also has auto Vanguard Circle when you reveal 2 or more triggers during your drive checks until the end of the turn. 3 of your front row units get plus 10,000 power. The fact that you can manipulate with the first skill, this power up becomes really reliable and pretty incredible. Goddess of the Half Moon Tsukiyomi is a grade 2 version and is a triple R with auto Vanguard Circle at the beginning of the ride phase. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck, put up to 1 card from among them into your hand and put the rest into the bottom of your deck in any order. And discard a card from your hand. If you discarded Goddess of the Full Moon Tsukiyomi, ride it as stand. And you cannot ride this turn. You can get past the discard by still making use of the card that you got rid of, and saves you from using a card from hand to ride. So it's a pretty nice plus all around. It also has continuous Vanguard Circle, Rearguard Circle during your battle that it attacked Vanguard. If Goddess of the Crescent Moon Tsukiyomi is in your soul, this unit gets plus 2000 power. The grade 1 is Goddess of the Crescent Moon Tsukiyomi, who basically has the same skill as the grade 2 with auto Vanguard Circle at the beginning of the ride phase. If Godhawk Ichipiyoshi is in your soul, look at 5 cards from the top of your deck, put 1 of the cards from among them into your hand and put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. And discard a card from your hand. If you discarded Goddess of the Half Moon Tsukiyomi, ride it as stand, and you cannot ride this turn. Battle Sister Macaron is just a big beater with auto Rearguard Circle once per turn. When you look at the deck by an effect during your turn, you may have this unit gain plus 10,000 power to the end of the turn. Tsukiyomi also gets some support with Convoy Angel, who has auto when this card is discarded from your hand during your turn, you may put this into your soul. In case you didn't get the Tsukiyomi in hand, you can use this to still make use of the skill. And we have the grade 1 with Diviner Angel, who has auto when this card is discarded during your turn, cost counter plus 1 and draw a card. Another great beater is Ravioli Magus. She's a grade 2 with auto Rearguard Circle once per turn. When your drive check reveals a trigger unit, this unit gets plus 10,000 power to the end of the turn. More than that, this being a Magus is also pretty good just for Pentagonal Magus to have more targets. Last card to go through is Royal Paladin. We have the triple R grade 2 Knight of Truth Gordon. He has continuous Rearguard Circle during your turn. All your Blaster Blade on your Vanguard Circle and Rearguard Circle get plus 5,000 power. If your Blaster Blade in the same column as this unit gets boost. More Blaster Blade Voltron, though a shame the original special interceptor for the clan is now best not intercepting. Great Sage Byron is a triple R grade 2 with auto Rearguard Circle once per turn. When your other unit attacks, you may have that unit get plus 5,000 power to the end of the turn. If the unit with plus 5,000 power is a grade 3 or greater, then cost counter plus 1 and retire this unit, and that unit gets plus 1 critical to the end of the turn. This is probably best with Soul Saver, especially with Palamedes, as he's getting massive power anyway, so the crit is just going to help fuel the pressure. Another grade 3 double R is Powerful Sage Byron. His first skill is auto Vanguard Circle, Rearguard Circle. When your other rearguard is placed, this unit gets plus 2,000 power to the end of the turn. And the second ability is Act Rearguard Circle once per turn. If your damage zone has more cards than your opponent, cost Soul Blast 1 and discard a card, draw 2 cards. The fact that you can use this every turn is pretty great and could be useful in Messianic Lord Blaster build, as it will help you filter your hand. Knight of Severity Hengist is another grade 3 with auto Vanguard Circle. When it attacks, costs Soul Blast 2 grade 3s. Call a number of cards from your hand to Rearguard Circle, and this unit gets plus 10,000 power until the end of the turn. If you have 3 or more rearguards, when your opponent would call cards from his or her hand to Guardian Circle during your turn, he or she must call 2 or more at the same time. This could be a really great finisher, especially with Force 1 on rearguard circles, as it could lead to a huge final push. Force 2 could make this equally deadly though, as 5 attacks all with 2 damage. Your opponent is going to have to block every one of them if they're at 4 or more damage. Yet another grade 3 is the Giftless Field Feather Dragon. It has back to Rearguard Circle, cost counter plus 1, Soul Blast 3, draw the same number of cards as the number of open rearguard circles you have, and call the same number of cards from your hand to Rearguard Circle. It's very good early game, but it's mostly a one-time thing. But it could prove useful if Royals ever get self-retiring in the future. And that is everything for this week. Be sure to check out next week when I will be going through all the cards shown throughout the next 7 days, and let me know your feelings on these cards and tell me which ones are your favourites. So I hope to see you next time. Bye.